The nuclear family is one of the most important things to hold a society together. But for corporate elites, it's an economic dead end. Really think about it. A family shares a kitchen, they share a car, they share a lawnmower. They probably provide for their own childcare, provided both parents aren't busy working. We've all heard of the loneliness epidemic, but here's a question that most people don't ask that they really should be. How is a lonely person the most profitable unit in the history of capitalism? Because whether you realize it or not, they are. In order to really understand the hidden incentives behind the loneliness epidemic, we have to start with how as a society did we get to this place where single-person households have increased fivefold from 1960. In my previous video, I talked about the rise of feminism, how a movement that was sold as freedom and liberation for women was really just to benefit corporations in ways of suppressed wage growth and an increase in the consumer base. If you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend it. However, there's more contributing to why people don't even want to make the effort to just go out and meet new friends or potential romantic partners. The biggest one for men is an obvious one. Internet and things like OnlyFans. From 2019 to 2023, in just 4 years, their revenue has increased over 2,000%. Now, I know everyone already knows this, but we have to ask the question, is this done on purpose? Giving us easy access to sexual reward, monetizing something like a man's desire for sex to keep us lonely? Or is that just a byproduct in a money grab attempt? We might never know the answer, but one thing's for certain. There are definitely hidden incentives for you to be lonely. If you didn't already know, single people living alone spend a lot more money than people living with roommates or a married couple or a family. An article from Zillow calls it the singles tax. Renters who live alone pay an average of $10,470 more per year than those who share housing. And in expensive markets like New York City, that number goes upwards of $23,000 a year. Single people also spend more on most other categories like food, apparel, transportation. The data here is telling you a clear story. People who are already rich, corporate elites, landlords, and private equity firms holding portfolios of companies benefit from you being alone. Here's the hidden incentive behind the loneliness epidemic. Single people spend more money than married couples. It's really that simple. Who benefits from you being single and lonely? Corporations. Let's look at just dating apps for an example. Everyone knows that the core business model isn't to find your the one so that you're happily ever after married. It's so that you don't find anyone, but you might just get enough matches that you see a small light at the end of the tunnel, so you keep going, you use their app, you keep putting more money into their pockets. And you'll probably also use more social media brain rot to pass your time. You'll pay more in living costs. You'll pay for sexual reward because you've just become so desensitized to any real interaction with the opposite sex, so you might as well just pay for OnlyFans or just watch internet. The system very much benefits from your loneliness, a lot, but we can actually take this one step further and even a little more sinister. One thing you have to realize is that when the family unit breaks, the state becomes the provider. From 1977 to 2021, state and local government spending on public welfare has increased over 200%. If you had a woman with a husband who was working hard, costs weren't as high as they are today, why would that family need to rely on the state for anything? Now let's contrast that with a single mother who had a baby young, no father in the picture, and the impossible cost of living of today, completely dependent on the state. The same thing applies to men too. A UK study found that today the NEET rate, not in education, employment, or training for men, is over 13%, meaning more than 1 in 10 men are doing absolutely nothing with their lives. And although that's a UK stat, it's a global phenomenon, meaning complete dependence on either parents, and once they die and nothing's left, ultimately the state. A population dependent on the state is ultimately incapable of standing up for its own rights. We're already seeing this in the UK. Most of you have probably heard about the whole 12,000 arrests in the UK for social media posts. So yes, the system can make a ton of money from you being single and lonely, whether it be dating apps, adult entertainment, and good old Mark Zuckerberg, or even your friendly neighborhood landlord. However, the deeper thing that no one is connecting this to is the fact that the loneliness epidemic is leading the population to be more and more dependent on the state. A population that's more dependent on the state is just going to sit and watch as every last right is stripped from them because there's nothing that they can do. These are the real hidden incentives behind an effort to keep you lonely, unhappy, and isolated. Now, I personally think the only way out of this mess is if you actually start becoming unprofitable to the system. Get married young, save money, and don't rely on the government for anything, and you build your own empire, or at least a life that you live on your own terms. If you disagree with that, please let me know in the comments. I want to know why. Because although it seems like everything is a power grab and everything is a psyop, you still have a lot of individual agency to build a life that you want to live. If you found any value from this, I'd highly appreciate a like and a subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when the next video drops. And if you liked this one, you'll probably love this one where I talk about the hopeless cycle of modern dating.